Conflict resolution. In any relationship, conflict is normal and sometimes healthy. No two people are going to agree on everything without ever disagreeing. Since relationship conflicts are always bound to happen, learning to handle them in a healthy way is very important. When conflict is dealt with poorly, it can badly hurt the relationship. On the flip side, when it's handled with respect and positivity, a conflict can turn into a chance to grow and improve the bond between two people. By learning the skills you need for proper conflict resolution, your personal and professional relationship will stay strong and continue to grow. The fundamentals. The main reason for conflict is differences between people. It happens when people disagree on their values, motivations, perceptions, ideas, or desires, or needs. Sometimes these differences seem unimportant, but when conflicts bring up strong feelings, a deep need related to the relationship is the source of the problem. This is a need to feel safe, secure, respected, valued, or a need for more closeness and intimacy in a relationship. Recognizing and resolving conflicting needs. If you don't understand what you're feeling, or you're only paying attention to certain emotions, you won't be able to figure out what you need. When you don't look deeper at your needs and feelings, you'll find it hard to communicate with others and discover what's really on your mind, making you upset. For example, couples usually argue about minor differences. These things include how a towel is hung up or the way someone does their hair. These issues are not the main problem, and what's really bothering someone stays hidden. In personal relationships, not understanding different needs can cause distance, arguments, and breakups. In the workplace, different needs are also the center of nasty arguments. When you identify the validity of conflicting needs and look at them under a microscope with care and understanding, you'll open yourself up to creative problem solving, team building, and better relationships. When you correct conflict and disagreements fast and smoothly, you'll gain a stronger sense of trust. Successful conflict resolution depends on your ability to manage stress while being calm and paying attention. When you're calm, you can properly read and understand verbal and nonverbal communication. Control your emotions and actions. If you can control your emotions, you won't need to communicate with threats, fear, or punishing people. Pay attention to how people are expressing feelings as well as their words. Be aware of your differences and respect them. Getting rid of disrespectful words and actions when you're having a conversation can help solve the problem faster. Healthy and unhealthy ways of managing and resolving conflict. Conflict brings on strong emotions which can lead to hurt feelings, disappointment, and uncomfortable situations. When dealt with in an unhealthy way, it can cause problems that can't be repaired, resentments, and breakups. If conflict is corrected in healthy ways, it improves our understanding of other people, builds trust, and strengthens our bonds in the relationship. Unhealthy responses to conflict are characterized by not being able to notice and react to important issues for another person, having explosive, angry, hurtful, and resentful reactions, holding back love, which creates rejection, isolation, shame, and fear of abandonment, expecting bad results, the fear and avoidance of conflict. Healthy responses to conflict are characterized by being able to notice and react to important issues, being willing to forgive and forget, looking for compromise wherever possible and avoiding punishment, believing that a solution can support the interests and needs of everyone involved. 4 key conflict resolution skills. Being able to succeed in managing and resolving problems revolves around 4 main skills. These skills form a 5th skill as a whole, which is greater than each individual skill. Combining these skills helps you understand how to take conflict as it comes and not create more problems than needed. You'll be able to resolve differences in ways that create trust and confidence. Quickly relieve stress. The ability to stay relaxed and focused in stressful situations is a crucial aspect of conflict resolution. If you can't stay centered and control your emotions, you might be emotionally overwhelmed in challenging situations. To quickly and reliably reduce stress, you must use your senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Everyone responds differently when focusing on their senses, so you need to figure out what will soothe you the best. Recognize and manage your emotions. Emotional awareness is important when trying to understand yourself and others. If you don't know how or why you feel a certain way, you won't be able to communicate properly or resolve disagreements easily. You'd think knowing your feelings would be simple, but many people ignore and push down strong emotions like anger, sadness, and fear. Your ability to deal with conflict relies on your connection to those feelings. If you fear these strong emotions or try to find solutions not based on emotion, your abilities to face and resolve differences will fall short. Improve your nonverbal communication skills. The most important information displayed during a conflict or argument is often nonverbal, actions without words. Nonverbal communication involves eye contact, facial expressions, tone of voice, the way you stand, touch, and gestures. During a conflict, pay attention to the other person's nonverbal signals. This can help you figure out what the person is really saying, and you can respond in a way that builds trust and helps discover the root of the problem. Simple nonverbal signals, like a calm tone of voice, a gentle touch, or a concerned expression, can go far in softening the blow of an argument. When it's right, use humor and play to handle challenges. If you communicate in playful and funny ways, you can avoid many kinds of confrontations and resolve arguments faster. Humor can be an easier way to say something that's usually a difficult topic. It's important to note that you should laugh with the other person, not at them. Humor and play should be used to reduce tension, help you look at the problem in a new way, and put everything in perspective. Then, the conflict can become a chance to build a stronger connection and intimacy in personal relationships. Tips for managing and resolving conflict. The key to managing and resolving conflict is emotional maturity, self-control, and empathy, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. These concepts can be challenging, frustrating, and scary. There are ways to make sure the conflict becomes a positive experience by following the conflict resolution guidelines. The relationship is your priority. Make an effort to keep the relationship strong instead of focusing on winning the argument. Respect the other person and their point of view. Focus on the present. Don't bring up past arguments, because your ability to be objective about the current argument will negatively be affected if you do. Instead of bringing up the past and placing blame, think about what you can do right now to solve the current problem. Pick your battles. Conflicts take a lot of energy, so it's important to think about if the issue is worth fighting about. For example, if you've been waiting for a specific parking spot for a long time and someone takes it from you, go find another one. This fight isn't worth your time when there are plenty of other spots. Be willing to forgive. Resolving conflict is impossible if you can't or won't consider forgiveness. Resolution comes from the willingness to let go of the thought of punishment. Punishment will never make up for a loss and only adds to an injury by putting more strain on our lives. Know when to let go. If you can't agree and never will, agree to disagree. It takes two people to argue, so if an argument is going nowhere, make the choice to walk away. Fair fighting. Ground rules. Stay calm. Don't overreact to difficult situations. If you stay calm, people will be more willing to listen to you and consider your views. Express feelings in words, not actions. Being direct and honest about your feelings is a powerful form of communication. If you feel angry or upset and might lose control, consider taking a step back until you're ready to return to the conversation with a peaceful mindset. Be specific about what's wrong. Vague comments don't lead to resolution. Handle one issue at a time. Take your time and don't bring in new issues until the previous ones have been discussed completely. This will help you avoid juggling several complaints at once with nothing getting solved. Never attack people about things that are extremely personal and sensitive. This creates distrust, anger, and vulnerability. Avoid accusations because that will lead to defensiveness. Instead, talk about how someone's actions made you feel. Focus on your own feelings, which you know are true. Don't generalize, especially with words like never or always, because the generalization will increase tension and are usually inaccurate and unfair. Never invent complaints or feelings about the situation that will stop the real issues from coming out. Stick to the facts and be completely honest about your feelings. Don't let your complaints or hurt feelings build up over time. Deal with issues as they happen, because it'll be impossible to handle an explosion of old problems in one conversation. Everyone sees situations differently, and they may not realize that they created a problem for you until you point it out. Managing and resolving conflict by learning how to listen. When people are extremely upset, their words don't always show the real issues and needs about the main problem. This is where we need to listen and watch more closely to reveal what's being felt. Then, we can connect deeply with our own needs and emotions and those of other people. Listening like this strengthens, informs, and makes it easier for others to interact with us. Listen carefully to the reasons why people are upset. Ask questions if you don't understand what someone is telling you and understand their views. Repeat the person's words to ensure you understand them completely. Ask if there's anything else that needs to be said and give the person plenty of time to think before they answer. Stop yourself from speaking your opinions before the other person has had a chance to finish. Ensure they've said everything they need to and that they feel heard and their message is understood. When listening to a person's views, the following responses are helpful. Encourage the person to share their concerns in as much detail as possible. You can say, "I want to understand what upset you. I want to know what you're hoping for." Clarify the major issues. Instead of making incorrect guesses, ask questions that let you gain information and let the other person know you're trying to understand. Can you say more about that? Repeat what you heard so you know you've understood so far. That can help the other person figure out if they need to say more. It sounds like you weren't expecting that to happen. Show your feelings and be as clear as possible. I can imagine how upsetting that was. Validate the concerns of the person, even if a solution is uncertain at the time. Expressing appreciation can be powerful if it's displayed with integrity and respect. I really appreciate that we can talk about this.